Hello my YouTube friends, this is Dave from Old Car Garage. Today we're going to be testing out a tool. This is the V200Pro. We're going to be using this to check circuits, work lights. It also has a breaker finder. So something that I was very interested in with this tool. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got inside. Again, this comes with a breaker finder, and that's what this here tool is going to be, so we'll see if we can try that out in this video. It has multiple connections. We can connect it directly to our battery, or we can also plug it into a power outlet in the car. So that helps if you're doing some testing inside the car. You don't have to have the hood popped. You can do it right from inside the vehicle, so that's a pretty nice setup. It comes with 20 feet of cable, and then another 20-foot extension. So you can have a total of 40 feet with this device. Here's our actual tool. What I like about this is it comes with this little gadget here. What does that do? That's the probe that will allow us to test circuits, and that's what I'm most excited about trying out. So I recently bought another car, and it came with these driving lights in it. Now, a previous owner had added these LEDs, and I think what they wound up doing was gluing this together with some silicone. But what I noticed was they had a hole in the top, and that's where this would have been wired in, and there are no wires. So I'm curious. I want to open this light up, and let's see if those LEDs work, and we'll use our new tool for that. Sure enough, just some silicone in there. Alright, we're going to end up having to probably cut through the silicone. Yep, there's lots of it in here. Cut through that, and we'll get this out of here, and we'll do some testing. Alright, that looks like where our two connections are. So we're going to go ahead now. LEDs sometimes are directional, so we're not going to be able to determine which is ground and hot, but it's not going to harm it if we run it in the wrong direction. It just won't light. So in this case, for this connection, what we're going to end up doing is I'm just going to be using a standalone battery. I do have the clamps that are on here to plug that in. I will show that this plug is only one direction. One side is more square than the other. And so that way you're not going to have a reverse polarity here. Plug that in. We'll turn this on. We're going to uncover our probe. Now what we're going to end up having to do, you notice that there's two leads that are on here. So in order to use this probe properly, we're going to have to ground one side. Okay, now see if we have continuity, and we do. Let's go ahead. Now what we're going to do to give that power is by pushing up on this, that's going to be sending power to that probe. So we'll go ahead and give that a shot and see what we get. And it looks like it's dead. Oh, there we go. Boy, that is an ugly color. But it does indeed work. So that's a pretty useful tool for being able to test batteries. And you don't have to do it with LEDs. We can do it old school. We have continuity. We give it power. Lights the bulb. Pretty cool diagnostic tool. I do like having that probe on there and being able to fire things up like this. So another factor with this tool that I really like is that you can check polarity. Now with this, currently our battery, we can also check that. We can push up and that'll tell us what our voltage is. This battery currently has 11.7 volts. We also have ground. But let's say I wanted to find polarity on this lamp. Now I have it wired to the battery right now, so if I put my bulb in here, it should light. It does. Let's say you wanted to find polarity in this socket. Simply make our connection. Here you can see I keep slipping off of it. Now if I come to this outer ring, you can see that's our ground. So green is going to be our ground. red is going to be our voltage, and it's going to tell us how much voltage is coming through that. So pretty nice tool. So let's say you had a lamp and you could not see the back of it, or any kind of plug. You could go ahead and find where the ground is, where the hot source is. Let's say you're trying to diagnose a problem, finding out what circuit something is on. By turning that circuit on, you can go ahead and do your test and then find it that way. It also, you notice, had this sound, so that makes it nice. So if you can't see your screen, you'll know that you're making connection. So that is pretty nice. So this is the complete bezel for my wife's 75 Nova. I have this completely restored and ready to install. Of course, the car is not ready yet, so spoiler alert, done some work. There'll be some video on this in the future. But let's say I've got this cluster and I want to do some testing. I'm going to flip this over. All these different circuits. Now I have all these bulbs in here, and I did go through and clean everything and test it. But just like I did with the light bulb, I could also do the power probe and test each of these circuits. So we're going to go ahead and make some connections here. Just as I showed you before, we had the ground wire from our tester grounded to the negative side of the battery. I'm grounding here. Now you wouldn't have to do this if it was attached to the car, because your system should already be grounded. So what we're going to do is we're going to power each of these circuits, and that's going to be through this area right in here. So we're going to power each one of those, and we'll see what we get to light up. I think that's a turn signal. Turn it on and off and make a turn signal. Light. I think that might be my high beam. Alright, so there's how you go test circuits. There are other functions that are on this device. To get to those other modes, hit the red button down here. So right now we're on DC voltage. And if I flip this, we can go to AC. So this also has like an oscillating, I think it's called, scale. So apparently you can test out things that are alternating current. I think you can do like fuel injectors and things like that. So that's stuff that you're not going to find on this channel, because this is Old Car Garage. So that is all foreign to me. Now the next feature would be ohms. Ohms I do know. And what we're going to do is I have this fuel sending unit that's right here. And if you're not familiar with a fuel sending unit, basically your fuel gauge is an ohms reader. And based on where this is placed, it's going to be reading that, and that's going to translate into empty and full, etc. So what we're going to end up doing, we have to put power through this line, and then we're going to need it grounded on this other end. So right here is our ground. And we'll go through power, and as you can see, here is our ohms. And as I move this, I was going to say we should see the values change. Now, I just happen to know that this sending unit is on its way out. It's very intermittent. And as you can see, right now, it's dead. Oh, once I start to move it again. And that's why this one here was removed from the gas tank, because it was very intermittent. Yeah, so it's got some dead points in it. You can hear it every time it goes dead. But nonetheless, there you go. You got an ohms meter on this device as well. The last function on here, this will be determining or finding a break in the line, or doing circuit testing. I believe you can do diode testing as well. Again, these are kind of some foreign things to me. I'm not an electrician. Oh, by the way, I forgot to point out that this does have LED lights on it. That makes it pretty nice working underneath the dash, so that is a nice feature. I do like that. So there you have it. It's probably not the best bit of testing, but again, this is Old Car Garage. I work on old cars, things typically pre-1975, so it's pretty limited. I don't have fuel injection, etc. to go through and test. And also, I am a electrical novice, So there's a lot of functions that undoubtedly this does and probably does well that I'm not going to be able to test. But if you're like me and you've got old cars and you saw a few things here that you think might be useful, hopefully this is the tool for you. It is affordable. I do have a link down below. You can check on that so that way you can get your own. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.